Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's having a fantastic start to the week. What's up? Go ahead. Hey, I haven't said this in a while. Put in the comments stuff that you want to hear in the Daily Truth another time. So this is the Daily Truth, the truth in 5 minutes or less, little motivation, inspiration, and maybe life perspiration. So if there's stuff you want me to talk about, throw it in there. This is an impromptu video because of something that happened yesterday. Longtime follower of Be the Change, Truth Will Set You Free. Very good guy, always incredibly supportive. His father passed away, and I know that the struggle that he had been going through, father had been sick for a period of time, and passed away, but I never asked the age of the person. So this is to those, today's Daily Truth is to those going through the loss of life of a loved one. And he said to me he was 96 and how his family is, they're all together and they're kind of dealing with it and they're mourning. And man, that's a tough one. And again, mourning is 100% part of the process. It is human. That is part of death and that is part of life, actually. It's just mourning for those that we lose. But I just encourage people to not get stuck in it too long, especially in an instance like this. And this is very similar to my grandfather. He passed away 91, 92, early 90s. I can't remember, but it was 90s. It was in the 90s. Same with Kelly's grandparents. They were in the 90s as well. There is something to be said, and I know how difficult it is to lose those loved ones that have been around for so long because there is just such a body of work of them in your life. There's so many memories that go through. But the thing that I sent him, and my mom is definitely one that is guilty of having trouble getting over the death of her father, my grandfather, because of how great of a man he was and all these different things. And that is acceptable to a point, but realize this kind of situation, I would encourage people to not look at as mourning and instead to look at it as something special. There's a quote that I shared with Mark, and this Daily Truth is dedicated to Galen Smith. Galen Smith is his father. He's 96 years old. He was 96 years old when he passed in the last couple of days. But there's something about the age of 90. And there's one of my favorite shows for a period of time was a TV show called Billions. I've shared this before on other commentary and posts, but there's a quote about a guy that had died too young. He died at 33, and it started this dialogue at the end of one episode, and the episode was called what the last part of this quote is. So it said, dying in your 30s and 40s is tragic. Paraphrase there. Sympathy dissipates from there. 50s, such a shame. 60s, too soon. 70s is a good run. 80s, a life well lived. And then there was a pause. 90s is a fucking hell of a ride. And you guys know that I don't typically swear on my daily truths, but 90s is a celebration. Really, life should be a celebration in general through the sadness. But when you truly look at a life lived to the 90s, you're going to have so many memories, some good, some bad. Who knows what direction or how many of there's the majority of these memories. But realize that's a hell of a ride. And you're blessed to have had a long life to share with that person. And this isn't talking about Mark at all, because I know that he'll, I'm sure, see the positive. This is very fresh. It's only a couple days, but I hope people can start to look at the blessings of the loved ones that have been around them for so long, or sometimes too short, and embrace the good moments, embrace the actual memories that you have. Because if you start to overly mourn all of the people that have passed in your life becomes full of mourning instead of full of celebration. There's a lot of people in this world, and people die every minute, every hour, every day. People deal with more death than others. I remember I didn't have to deal with death until I was in my, I think, late 20s, and then all of a sudden everybody died. And mourning is just something that you do until it, and you got to, there has to be a point. I guess the truth is there has to be a point when you release the sadness. And it doesn't mean it goes away forever. I think of my dad, who passed away almost a decade ago. This year, actually, it'll be a decade. I think about him once in a while in a fleeting moment, and there's sadness in it, and I embrace the sadness and I let it pass. It'll never go away. But the longer you just live in that mourning, the worse off you'll be. But in the meantime, celebrate the life. Remember the memories. That's my daily truth for today. Like this video, share this video, do all the things with this video. Remember, the truth will always set you free. God bless. Have a great rest of your day. And don't surrender your pets. Don't be a garbage human.